Hello everybody and welcome to this next part in the Top 11 video tutorial series. In this part we're going to talk about training. Training is perhaps the most important function in the game. If you know how to do this well, you're going to greatly increase your team's performance and your team's overall skills. So this is something you definitely want to master and learn how to plan ahead so you can maximize this feature. So the first thing we want to do is be able to identify our fast trainers. And in order to do this, we're just going to go to our squad. We're going to click on contract details and we're going to order them by value. The highest values are going to train the fastest. Either it's because of their skills, their age, or both. This guy is worth 38.6 million. He's my 7-star player and he's 18. So he's going to train really fast. So if you see an 18-year-old that's unusually cheap for the star levels, that means he's not going to train fast. Training speed is a factor of their value. It is not necessarily a factor of their age. Their value is a combination of both age, value, and training speed. So if you see a young player with high skills and with low value, that means he's going to train slowly. That's something very important to keep in mind. Not all 18 to 19-year-old players are going to train at the same speed. So these three guys are the fastest trainers I've got. This guy's 22 and he still has a high value. That means when he was younger, he was lightning fast. And he's my best player, so his skills are also quite high. This guy's also a fast trainer. He's worth 19.6 million. If you go down to this guy, he's a good player, but he's 31, so he has low value. He's not going to train fast. Same thing with these two guys. So we can now identify who's going to train the fastest and who's not. So now we're going to go into here. And the first thing you'll notice is these bars. 1 bar means they're not going to train. 2 bars will mean they'll train at a normal speed. 3 bars means they'll train at twice the speed. If you train at twice the speed, you increase your chance of injuries. So do so at your own risk. This clock here tells you when they're going to recover. You get 5% every 3 hours. Now this is very important to be able to do some light calculations here. My next match is at 16:27, so that's a little over 13 hours from now. So at 5% every 3 hours, I'm going to recover 25% between now and then. So if my players are at 74% or higher, they'll be at full strength for the next match without any additional boosters. So what does this mean? We want to get them down to as close to 74 as we can. If we're a percent or 2 off either way, no big deal. But if we put a guy at 80%, then we're wasting 6% of his stamina, which we could be training him with. If we put him down to 70, then he's not going to be at full strength in the next match unless we give him a green pack. Now, we could do that and train him some more if we wanted to, but we want to try to avoid that unless we're trying to do that. So, what we'll do is, I call this planning ahead, and it's really, really, really important. We'll take this guy. He's 93%, so he's more than 9% above the 74% we're going for. So we'll turn him on. In fact, we'll just turn all our guys on with this button. For the first squad, we'll turn the whole team on. Select normal and normal. So now everybody gets 2 bars. You can do it by squad, or you can do everybody, but we're just going to use normal for now. Now, a good rule of thumb is never train anybody over 27, so you automatically don't get anything, nor do you, nor do you. And the reason why is they're going to train really slow, and when you train, you can get injured. So this guy here, I can train him, but he's not going to get any better, and I just risk an injury, so I don't want to do that. This blue bar here is how close they are to the next skill point. So if I can fill this bar, he gets a skill point. And we'll get into that in just a bit. So now that we've kind of planned this out, he's the lowest and he's at 84. So even if I give him a full training here, he shouldn't go below 74. So as you can see, the average gain is 30%. So if you have an average trainer, he'll gain 30, and they'll lose an average of 9%. So we take this guy, he'll go to 84, he'll go down to 75, and that's where we want him to be. So that's good. And everybody else is higher. So when we train, everybody's going to still be above 74, so we'll keep training them. If they train faster, say our fast trainers, that means they'll get more than 30. Now, an important note, if a guy is already 6 stars, he's not going to train as fast. If a guy is already 5 stars, he's going to not train as fast. So your 3 and 4 star players will naturally train faster. So, like my guy here, who's 7 stars, even though he's only 18 and a super fast trainer, he won't gain that many points because he's already 7 stars. So, let's go ahead and push this button and see what happens. And my best player just got injured. Awesome. Yeah, that sucks. But fortunately, we have a lot of red packs, so we can fix that. Ankle strain, well, that's 9 red packs I'm not getting back. Yeah, if you get an injury, just click on that button and then boom. And all better. Yay. So as you can see, we got 3 training points. We're going to put those in after we finish. So now we're going to see the next one would be worth 6%. Remember, our goal was 74. So we want to get this down to 8. So we want 80%. So he's above 80. He's above 80. He's above 80. He's not. So we're going to rest him. He's above 80. He's not. So we're going to rest him. He's not. So he's at rest. He's the same, so rest. He's at 80, so we'll train him. He's at 77, so he'll rest. And these guys are all green, so green is 80, so they're all going to train. So now we're going to push this button. We'll see what happens. No injuries, that's always a good thing. And now we're up to 7, so that's even better. So now, this one is worth 3. So since our goal is 74, anybody who is 77 or higher, we're going to train. He's at 80, so he's going to train. 78, he'll train. 76, we'll go ahead and train him. 76, train. 77, he'll train. 78, we'll bring him back to train again. 75, 4, 3, we won't train them. 77, he can train. And then these guys can all train. So now we'll push the button and we'll see what happens. So as you can see, if you drew a straight line down here, they'd be pretty much the same. Everybody is right around 74. Let's see, the lowest is about 72, which isn't bad. Mostly 74, 75. That's essentially perfect. So when you prepare for your next match, that's what you want to do. So in 20 minutes, they're going to increase by 5%, and then they'll increase 5% every 3 hours. And come game time, they'll all be between 97 and 99. Perfect. No wasted points, and nobody got overtrained, aside from a little injury, which we were able to take care of. So now, where do we want to put these points? Well, first we'll go to our keeper. We want defense, physical, mental. Attack is, well, whatever. Now, if you want to train for a special ability, you push that button, but you really shouldn't do that unless there's an ability you can't live without. That's not really worth much, so don't do that. Now, note, no category can be more than 20 points more than any other category. So if I give him defense, which is what I'm going to do, that puts it at 71 and 51. If he gets another point, I can't put it there because that would put it 20 more than that. So for my next point, I can either put it there or there, but I can't put it there. We'll save it. Go to the next guy. You'll also see a personal trainer button. Don't ever, ever, ever do that. That's a ripoff, so don't do that. Auto assign, if you don't care, you can do that, but I don't recommend that. For defenders, you pretty much want the same. You want defense and physical mental. As you can see, I'm pretty much reaching the threshold here. If you have a defender that can score some, then it's not bad to give him some attack because That means that he can score. I'll give him something there. Now these just appear at random. You can't control that. This guy here. As you can see, this is what I'm talking about from before. This is 20 more than that, so I can't do anything there. I can click it as much as I want, but it won't give me a point. So if I want a defensive point, I need to give him an attack point first. Now he's pretty good on offense as well, so I'll give him a point now, and then I'll give him one there next time. So that's okay. For midfield, you want to focus on these two, especially this one. This is really important. This is also important. Defense, unless they're really, really low, is probably not a problem, so you can kind of just go with what he has. 61 is still 5-star, so it's not like he's terrible. So we're going to focus on physical and mental for our midfield. We have another midfielder here. As you can see, I'm unbalanced here. I'm low here, high there, kind of in the middle there. So we'll kind of increase that. This guy is one of the academy players I got. I'm just going to build him up to 49 and then sell him. If you're training, be aware of that if this number is 4 or 9, the second digit here, he's going to sell better. So try to keep it there if you can. It's got the midfielder, so we're going to increase that. And finally, for strikers, you definitely want attack. For strikers, that goes without saying. Physical, mental also is important, but attack is the most important. So you definitely want to focus a lot on that. So we're going to give him that point there. If you want to give him another role, you just push that, but there's really no point in that. That's kind of a waste of points in my opinion, so don't do that. Special abilities, if I absolutely had to have a corner specialist, I had a really fast trainer that I liked, I might just power train him for 40 points right away and get it, but again, that's not really the most efficient use of your points, so I don't recommend that either. So we're going to put that in. Now I'll tell you how to power train. I'm not actually going to do it, but it'll tell you how I got this guy up to 7 stars. This is not a scout player. I just bought him on the transfer market and trained him up to 70. And the way you do it is it's just not that difficult. You just set it to that and then just do all of them, and then in an hour do it again and just keep doing it and just keep feeding him these throughout the day. It costs you about 1 green pack per skill point, so if you want to turn a 5-star player into a 7-star player, it's going to cost you about 75. You also might get injuries, so it's going to cost you some red packs. You can do it slower, and you'll also get the point he gets from playing in games. I don't know how many greens I spent to get that guy up there. I didn't count, but that's pretty much how I did it. He came with an ability. I didn't pay for that, so that's a good thing. I'm never using that button, so yeah, as you can see, he's 76.6 in attack. That would be the equivalent of a 9-star player in just attack, so that's quite powerful if it's a working player. Now, an important thing to note, just because this guy's really high here doesn't mean he's going to be an unworldly player. These are just kind of his skills. How he actually performs, who knows? He's not my best player, even though he's my highest rated. This guy is my best player, and see, he's even higher because I work him really hard to keep him as my best player because I know he's great. So that's something to be aware of. When you train, focus on training your best players. You want longevity. I've had this guy for 5 seasons. The reason he's been so good for so long is because I keep this number as high as I can. Since it's 20 more than this one, I have to split between these two, but I don't mind it because I know this guy is great. So keep that in mind when you train your players. They're not going to automatically be great just because you increase their skill points. It only increases their capacity to be great. And that about covers everything there is for training. I hope you can make some great use of this skill, and hopefully this will help improve your team. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again for the next part. Goodbye.